We welcome in via Skype from Miami, Irene Garcia of Judicial Watch. Irene, take us back. Tell us what Tom Fitton heard from IRS attorneys that has created this new development in the case.
Yes, this was during a legal conference, a telephone conference with Judicial Watch attorneys in our Washington, D.C. office, where department attorneys who are representing the IRS in this matter admitted and revealed that there's a backup to all of the electronic mail and hard drives on all government computers in case of a catastrophe, in case of an emergency. So these emails do in fact exist and we can still retrieve them. However, it would be too onerous, too difficult for the government to do that. So they essentially are refusing to do it.
Irene, do you think something criminal has occurred here and that's why they don't want to retrieve these records?
It's certainly looking that way. I mean, Lois Lerner was in contempt of Congress. She was the IRS official in charge of the review process for organizations seeking nonprofit status, and the IRS was used as a political tool to go and scrutinize conservative groups, Tea Party groups, and other conservative groups, and that's not legal. And so it appears that they're trying to cover their tracks and hide some of the damaging information. The head of the IRS, the commissioner, said that her computer conveniently crashed and nothing could be retrieved. And now we find out from Justice Department attorneys that in fact there are backups to all these hard drives.
Which sets up something that could be legally very challenging for that aforementioned IRS commissioner. Here is what John Koskinen said verbatim for the record, Irene. Quoting now, "The actual hard drive, after it was determined that it was dysfunctional, was recycled and destroyed in the normal process. In light of the new information, do you believe Mr. Koskinen just perjured himself?"
Yeah, I mean, it sure looks that way. Everyone has been lying at all levels of government, certainly the higher ups in the IRS, so it certainly looks that way.
Well, we continue on with this, and correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe this needs more amplification, Irene, but those attorneys, in talking to Tom Fitton on this call, said it would be too burdensome, it would be too onerous to go through the man hours involved and all the work required to reach the backup emails. Now, how can they say that with a straight face?
Yeah, I mean, they're under court order to provide the information, and first they lied and said that the computer crashed and that they could not retrieve, that it was just gone, it was destroyed, and now they're finally admitting that in fact there are backups to every government computer system in this country.
So they're saying it's just too darned inconvenient to get to. I know that we're viewing this from afar, but you've probably had discussions with Tom Fitton. Do you folks at Judicial Watch expect the judge to take a very dim view of the burdensome argument that the IRS attorneys are putting forth? Do you expect indeed that a federal judge will put a time clock on the IRS and demand those email copies?
Well, certainly that's what we're hoping. This Judge Sullivan in Washington, D.C. has ordered that this information be provided and has appointed a magistrate judge to help investigate this matter. So on some level, that indicates that the judge realizes that something is going on here and that the government needs to be held accountable.
Irene, what would be the most ideal outcome for you from this?
Well, that the emails, the electronic correspondence be once and for all made public, because the IRS has been lying to the American public, to Congress, to the court, so that we can see once and for all what took place. If in fact the IRS was illegally being used as a political tool to silence groups that do not share the Obama administration's political views.
And that was going to be my follow-up question to you. What do you think is going to be revealed?
Well, exactly that. I mean, I think this is clearly a government cover-up. They're going out of their way to cover up the information, anything that could be damaging. Lois Lerner was in contempt of Congress. She's no longer has her IRS position, but it just all smells of a cover-up.
Irene, here we are discussing this case this morning. One of the other cable networks spoke with Tom Fitton last night. Aside from these two reports, I know you used to be with the Los Angeles Times. Have you seen any traditional media outlets pick up this story from Judicial Watch?
No, it's conveniently being ignored. It's conservative groups that the IRS was going after in this case, but really it's the mainstream media should be very interested because this sets a very, very dangerous precedent in Congress, in government, excuse me, that the executive branch could pursue and go after and scrutinize groups for their political views. It could be a conservative, a Republican president in office that goes after the liberal groups. So this is about the precedent that it sets, and the fact that and government transparency, and that the American public must be informed and aware of what's going on.
Irene Garcia from Judicial Watch, Skyping in today from Miami. Irene, as always, we thank you for your contributions and your point of view and updating us on Judicial Watch. This is a story that bears watching. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you heard Irene with what's going on with Judicial Watch, and boy, it looks like some folks may get in trouble. What's your take on it? Why don't you tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, hashtag America's Forum. There's also newsmaxtv.com/comment, and don't forget Facebook. Both of our faces coming back following this.